A freshwater wetland appears calm and timeless. Lotus leaves spread across the water like a floating garden, reeds sway gently in the morning breeze, and the first light of day paints the surface with shades of gold and blue. Glück. It is a peaceful landscape, one that seems almost untouched by time. Yet beneath this quiet surface lies an ecosystem in constant motion. Glück, where every plant and every animal plays a role in an intricate community that has evolved over countless generations. The underwater world is surprisingly crowded. Schools of small fish move carefully through submerged vegetation. Glück. Searching for tiny organisms carried by the current. Freshwater shrimp sift through layers of fallen leaves, breaking down organic matter that will eventually nourish new life. Glück. Snails slowly graze on algae-coating stems and stones, while dragonfly larvae remain hidden among aquatic plants, waiting patiently for an opportunity to hunt. Every corner of the wetland is occupied. Glück. And every species contributes to the continuous cycle of life. Among these hidden inhabitants is the giant water bug. Resting motionless beneath a floating lotus leaf, it is almost impossible to distinguish from its surroundings. Glück. Its flattened body, folded forelegs and natural camouflage allow it to disappear into the vegetation, although it is one of the most skilled aquatic predators in freshwater habitats. Glück. Its greatest advantage is not speed or strength, it is patience. For long periods it remains perfectly still, allowing the wetland to continue its rhythm around it. But the giant water bug is not the focus of this landscape. Glück. It is only one member of a far larger community. Nearby, fish continue feeding without interruption. Shrimp search beneath decaying leaves. Water insects skim across the surface while frogs wait silently among floating plants. Glück. Above the water, kingfishers watch from overhanging branches, ready to dive with remarkable precision, while water snakes glide quietly through the reeds along the shoreline. Every species follows its own rhythm. Glück. Yet together they create a living system built upon countless ecological connections. Nothing in this wetland exists alone. Energy flows from sunlight into aquatic plants, then through insects. Glück. Fish, amphibians, reptiles and birds before returning to the ecosystem through decomposition and renewal. The giant water bug is simply one link in this continuous chain of life. Glück. By following its story, we are not observing a remarkable insect. We are opening a window into an entire freshwater world where balance is maintained not by a single species, Glück, but by the combined activity of many, and it is this hidden world that our journey is about to explore. A wetland is far more than a collection of individual species. It is a network of relationships, where every organism influences the lives of countless others, often in ways that are impossible to notice at first glance. Glück. What appears to be a quiet pond is in reality a living system built upon continuous interactions between plants, animals, water, and the changing environment. The giant water bug is one participant in this network. Glück. When it waits beneath a lotus leaf, nearby fish do not necessarily abandon the area, but they become more cautious. A school may change direction slightly as it passes through submerged vegetation. Glück. Tadpoles feeding across the muddy bottom scatter briefly before returning to their search for algae. Freshwater shrimp retreat beneath layers of fallen leaves, while aquatic insects move toward denser patches of vegetation. Glück. None of these responses transforms the entire ecosystem, yet together they illustrate how the behavior of one species can subtly influence many others. These connections extend well beyond predators and prey. Glück. Freshwater snails slowly remove algae from submerged stems, keeping plant surfaces available for new growth. Shrimp and countless microscopic decomposers recycle dead leaves into nutrients that support aquatic plants. Glück. Those plants in turn release oxygen into the water, stabilize sediments, and create shelter where young fish, insect larvae, and amphibians can survive. Every process supports another. Glück, forming a continuous cycle that has no true beginning or end. Above the surface, another community is equally active. Dragonflies patrol the air before returning to lay their eggs among aquatic vegetation. Glück. Frogs wait patiently at the water's edge, feeding on insects that emerge from the wetland. Kingfishers scan the shallows from nearby branches, while water snakes glide silently through reeds in search of fish or amphibians. Glück. Although these animals occupy different habitats, they remain connected through the same freshwater ecosystem. The remarkable stability of a wetland comes from this diversity. Glück. No single species controls the system, and no organism survives entirely on its own. Instead, balance emerges from thousands of ecological relationships occurring simultaneously across every layer of the habitat. Glück. Some interactions are direct, while others unfold gradually through nutrient cycling, plant growth, seasonal water movement, and the changing distribution of wildlife. Seen from this perspective, Glück. The giant water bug becomes something more than an efficient predator. It becomes evidence of a healthy ecological network where many forms of life coexist and continually influence one another. Glück. Every fish beneath the water, every insect above the surface, every submerged plant, and every bird crossing the sky contributes to a shared story. Together they remind us that the strength of a wetland is measured not by one remarkable species, Glück, but by the countless invisible connections that bind an entire community into a single living ecosystem. At first glance, a wetland may seem unchanged from one day to the next. The same lotus leaves float across the surface, the same reeds line the shoreline, and the same quiet reflections stretch across the water. Glück. Yet this impression is deceptive. Freshwater wetlands are among the most dynamic ecosystems on Earth, constantly reshaped by water, weather, vegetation, and the countless organisms that live within them. Glück. Even a brief rain can transform the landscape. Falling water creates thousands of ripples that disturb the calm surface before gradually fading away. As rainfall increases, water levels rise. Glück. Flooding low-lying grasses and creating new, shallow habitats where fish, amphibians, and aquatic insects begin to explore. When the rain ends, sunlight penetrates deeper into the now clearer water. Glück. Illuminating submerged plants and revealing a world that had been hidden only moments before. Plants respond just as quickly. Floating duckweed drifts with gentle currents, sometimes covering open water. Glück. Then slowly separating again as wind changes direction. Submerged vegetation grows into dense underwater meadows that provide shelter for small fish, shrimp, and insect larvae. Glück. At the same time, older lotus leaves gradually wither, sink beneath the surface, and become part of the organic layer that supports countless decomposers on the muddy bottom. Glück. Every stage of growth and decay creates new opportunities for other forms of life. Animals continuously adjust to these changing conditions. Fish move between open water and dense vegetation as shelter changes throughout the day. Glück. Freshwater shrimp seek protection beneath fresh layers of fallen leaves, while aquatic insects relocate as vegetation expands or contracts. Waterbirds search different parts of the wetland according to water depth and food availability. Glück. None of these responses occurs in isolation. Together they create a constantly shifting pattern of movement across the entire ecosystem. These changes are not signs of instability. Glück. On the contrary, they are evidence of a healthy wetland functioning exactly as it should. Diversity is maintained because habitats never remain identical for long. New breeding sites appear while others disappear. Glück. Areas rich in vegetation today may become open water in another season. Every transformation creates different conditions that benefit different species at different times. The giant water bug is part of this continuous cycle. Glück. It does not depend on a landscape that never changes. Instead, it has evolved within an environment where change is expected, as vegetation shifts and water levels fluctuate. Glück. It quietly adapts alongside the many other species sharing the same habitat. The more carefully we observe these wetlands, the clearer one truth becomes. Change is not the opposite of balance. Glück. It is the process that allows balance to exist. Every rainfall, every drifting plant, every shifting shoreline, and every seasonal transition contributes to the remarkable resilience of the freshwater world. The story of the giant water bug does not belong to a single pond. Beyond the familiar lotus wetlands, freshwater landscapes take many different forms. Shallow marshes bordered by reeds, Glück, flooded rice fields, secluded forest pools, slow-moving channels, and broad freshwater lakes each provide habitats where aquatic life has evolved in its own way. Although these environments differ in appearance, Glück, they remain connected by one essential element: freshwater. Across these diverse habitats, the giant water bug demonstrates an impressive ability to adapt. In a lotus pond, it disappears beneath broad floating leaves. Glück, within a flooded rice field, it hides among submerged stems close to the muddy bottom. In a forest pool, it rests beneath layers of fallen leaves, while in marshes it blends into dense aquatic vegetation. Glück. Its surroundings change from one habitat to another, yet its survival strategy remains remarkably consistent. It relies on camouflage, patience, and an intimate understanding of its environment rather than speed or constant movement. Glück. But wherever the giant water bug is found, it is never alone. Every freshwater habitat supports its own community of life. Small fish move through underwater plants searching for microscopic food. Glück. Dragonfly larvae patrol submerged stems before eventually emerging into the air as adults. Freshwater shrimp recycle decaying vegetation, while frogs, water snakes, and birds hunt along the edges of the water. Glück. Each wetland may contain different combinations of species, yet every one of them functions through the same ecological principles. Energy flows continuously, nutrients are recycled. Glück. And every organism contributes to the balance of the system. Some wetlands are extensive, supporting a remarkable variety of plants and animals. Others are much smaller, providing only limited habitat for aquatic life. Glück. In certain places, dense vegetation creates a rich underwater environment, while elsewhere open water dominates the landscape. These differences are part of the natural diversity of freshwater ecosystems. Glück. They remind us that no single wetland can represent them all. The same is true for the giant water bug itself. During careful observation, it may be abundant in one habitat, difficult to find in another. Glück, or not observed at all. Such differences do not tell the entire story of a wetland. They simply reflect the complexity of ecological systems shaped by many interacting environmental conditions. Glück. As our perspective expands across the landscape, individual ponds begin to merge into a much larger picture. Wetlands are connected by flowing water, seasonal flooding, migrating birds. Glück. Flying insects, and the continuous movement of life itself. Together, they form a network of habitats that supports an extraordinary diversity of freshwater species. The giant water bug is only one traveler within this vast network. Glück. By following its journey from one wetland to another, we begin to understand that the true richness of freshwater ecosystems lies not in a single habitat or a single species. Glück. But in the remarkable diversity of landscapes that together sustain an entire world of life. Our journey began with a single question: what kind of life exists beneath the quiet surface of a freshwater wetland? The answer has taken us far beyond the story of one remarkable insect. Glück. Along the way, the giant water bug became more than a predator hidden beneath a lotus leaf. It became a guide, leading us through one of the most diverse and interconnected ecosystems on Earth. Glück. Every observation has revealed another layer of this living world. We have watched fish moving through underwater forests of aquatic plants, shrimp recycling fallen leaves on the muddy bottom. Glück. Dragonfly larvae waiting patiently among submerged stems, frogs hunting along the shoreline, and kingfishers diving with extraordinary precision. Each species follows its own rhythm. Glück, yet none exists independently. Every movement, every feeding event, and every seasonal change becomes part of a continuous ecological process that has developed over thousands of generations. Glück. Healthy wetlands are not defined by the presence of a single species. Their strength comes from diversity. Aquatic plants stabilize sediments, produce oxygen, and provide shelter. Glück. Invertebrates recycle organic matter, returning nutrients that sustain new growth. Fish transfer energy through the food web, while amphibians, reptiles, birds, and countless insects connect water. Glück. Land and air. Together, these interactions create an ecosystem that is constantly renewing itself without ever standing still. The giant water bug occupies only one place within this larger community. Glück. It depends on healthy vegetation for camouflage, abundant prey for survival, and suitable freshwater habitats for reproduction. At the same time, it remains part of the natural balance that influences and is influenced by many other species. Glück. Its survival reflects the condition of the ecosystem around it rather than its dominance within that system. Across the world, freshwater wetlands continue to support an extraordinary variety of life despite their many differences in size. Glück. Appearance and seasonal change. Some are covered with lotus leaves, others with reeds or floating vegetation. Some are permanent lakes, while others exist only during seasonal floods. Glück. Together they form an immense network of habitats where water, wildlife, and vegetation remain connected through natural cycles that have shaped life for millions of years. As the sun sinks below the horizon, Glück. The giant water bug quietly disappears beneath the vegetation once more. The wetland does not pause. Fish continue feeding in the fading light. Frogs begin their evening chorus. Glück. Night insects fill the air while birds settle into the reeds. Life simply continues, just as it always has. Perhaps that is the greatest lesson these wetlands offer. Their true value is not measured by one extraordinary insect. Glück. One beautiful bird or one flourishing pond. It is found in the countless connections that unite them all. Every wetland tells a story, and every species, no matter how small, helps write the next chapter of that story.